Hello, everyone. Isn't it beautiful to start Friday? I mean, end of Friday almost.
Yeah.
With a beautiful lady here who is doing nutrition and wellness coaching. And we're going to talk about balancing hormones and boosting energy by Michelle Thomas. And I'm very excited to have you here in my Green Healing Show. Welcome to my show, Michelle.
Well, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I absolutely love sharing this kind of stuff with people because there's a lot of untruths out there. And so I like to get, a little bit of science-backed truth in the
Yeah.
world. So,
So tell me about yourself first, and
okay.
yeah, a little bit history of what you're doing, and why are you doing nutrition and wellness coaching. I know you have a lot of skills in your resume. So how did you end up to be a coach? Did you have any issue of health for yourself, or what happened?
Okay. Well, I was perpetually overweight. I was put on my first 900 calorie diet at the age of 9 and pretty much was on a diet of some kind my entire life, but always had, with the exception of like 2 or 3 times in my life, I always had a very significant amount of weight to lose, in the vicinity of 100 or more pounds to lose. And it wasn't because I didn't know. I had learned some nutrition things growing up, even though my mother was like, if it could be fried or have sugar in it, my mom cooked it. But my dad had heart problems. And when I was in high school, I took over the cooking. Um, but nothing was solving like my weight. It was just not. I was addicted to fast food. I used to drink over a case of Diet Pepsi a day. I was, if it came in a box, I cooked it for my family because I didn't have time. Because as you said, I have a very large resume, which includes a very highly detailed, long day type job. Um, but I hated being told what to do. And so I had to do it my way. But then one day I was back in Colorado for my dad's funeral, and I was 42. And I looked at my mom sitting at the kitchen table, smoking a cigarette while on oxygen, and could not even get up to walk to the coffee pot to get coffee. She was sending my nieces and nephews to, like, I need coffee. Somebody would go fill it up. I need something to eat. Somebody would go get it for her. And then I realized I had at that point a 6, 7, and 17-year-old at home. And if I didn't change something, I was in a worse situation than my mom was because I was significantly more overweight than she had ever been. I was living on Diet Pepsi and fast food, and I wasn't going to make it when to the point where, I could see my oldest graduate high school and have kids, or my daughter, I wasn't showing her a healthy lifestyle. And then my youngest could not even get his arms all the way around me. And one of his favorite memories is every once in a while he'll bring it up when he comes up, and he's now 6'4". So, but he'll come up and put his arms around me. He'll go, "Mom, remember when I couldn't get my arms all the way around you?" He goes, "Now I can pick you up." So I made major changes and became a coach because I wanted to be the kind of coach I needed when I was ready to make the change. But the kind of everybody out there was like, well, eat less, move more, and had absolutely no understanding of I could not walk up the stairs to tuck my kids in at night without help from my husband. So they didn't really get it. Because of the way I ate and because of my lifestyle, because of my lack of movement, my hormones were And I was getting ready to go through that lovely, change. My hormones were totally messed up and I had no energy. I'm blessed with a husband that's a chiropractor. So we sat down and started building a program. And then I went and got certified. And so that I could help others do the same type of thing. And some of the women I coach have a significant portion of weight to lose. Some of them are going through menopause and can't figure out, all of a sudden they have no energy, their brain is shot, and they're just fuzzy all the time and they're gaining weight consistently. So I work with them as well. So
Beautiful.
that's how I got here.
And you look skinny. I mean, have a good weight right now.
Yes, I have been
Yeah,
at a healthy weight for 8 years.
beautiful,
So,
beautiful. So I know that's a struggle for many, many people, especially during this COVID. It's so difficult to lose weight
yes,
because people can't do exercise the way they used to. Like I used to do a lot of swimming. Right now, I can't.
right.
But what exactly we need to do to lose weight? Like the way you did. First, tell me how long did it take you lose weight and you get to the ideal weight,
Okay.
and what did you exactly do?
Okay. So I'm going to preface this because I've lost 100 pounds in 4 months and gained it back in 6 at 21. And then I lost 100 pounds at 32 in 6 months and gained it back in 8 months. So when I made this change at 42, I changed that. I obviously could lose weight, but I wasn't in it for a sprint dash to the finish line to lose the weight. I tell people that, first of all, there is no magic wand that can take away the weight. There's some certain things you can do, but there's no magic wand. And quick weight loss is not permanent weight loss for anyone. It's just a recipe for your next diet roller coaster. So, with that prefaced, the third time I lost it, it took me 18 months and I lost 136 pounds. But I got down too skinny. I was like 15% body fat and muscles because I was lifting heavy weights all the time. But I was eating broccoli, chicken, and rice, basically 3 meals a day in very huge portions in order to maintain that. There was no smothered burritos with the family, no birthday cake, no nothing. And I decided I did not lose weight to have six-pack abs. I lost weight to be healthy and be able to do things with my family, which, occasionally includes the burritos, the birthday cake. It's just a matter of timing. So, how do we do this without it being my favorite thing? I don't want it to be a life suck for anyone. That is not the goal. You don't have to live on avocado, brown rice, chicken, and broccoli. That's not the goal. But there's 3 components to every meal and every snack that everyone should be including. And that is a fat, a fiber, and a protein. Fiber is a carb because everybody looks at me like, what's a fiber? It's actually a carb. It's very simple, but it's the healthy carbs versus, the organic bagel that people want to say is healthy, which I'm sorry, it does not matter whether it says organic on the bag or it just says Einstein Brothers bagels. There is a time and a place for a bagel. Organic does not make it healthy. At least not something that you want to eat every single day. There's nothing wrong with bagels. I'm not saying that is a bad food. I'm just saying buying a bag of bagels that say organic on the outside of them and then eating them 2 or 3 times a day and saying it's healthy is not going to get you there. So, what
Exactly.
do we do instead? We do things like fruits and vegetables, and things like nuts and seeds and avocado, and then having whatever your favorite protein is, which, that could be chicken, that could be beef. If you're a vegetarian, there are a ton. I'm not well versed on vegetarian options, but there are a ton out there, and there are coaches that can actually help you do your meals so that you can get that fat, fiber, and protein in every meal and snack. Because that is like the very first step to balancing your hormones, is to get all three of those components into every meal and snack that you eat during the day.
Beautiful. So what else? I know even in diet, for everybody is different
Mhm.
because some people have some food sensitivity, and you have to be careful if they are okay with the food.
Yeah.
And I know about the Chinese medicine. Body constitution is so important because not everybody can eat meat or
Yeah.
can eat chicken. Like from the beginning of my life, I never loved tomato. I just had tomato because I thought it's good for me. And then with cherry tomato, I was okay because it was a small portion of tomato and I didn't have to eat the whole portion. But now I know that for the inflammation, tomato is not good for me.
Right. Right.
But sometimes I have it. I don't prevent myself from not having any food that I have to eat, but um, I don't try not to eat those food that is not good for me.
Right.
So, tell me about. So I know it's not the only thing you do because I know I had a friend when I used to study. We
Mhm.
used to live in a dorm, and my friend was had a little bit extra fat, and she was so funny. She every day had different diets. She had 1 kilogram of carrot one day. And she was very and the interesting point, I always told her, uh, let's say if everybody live in a dorm, if somebody goes to the shopping, everybody ask her, can you buy something for me? And she always asks us to buy ice cream. And she not only eat one ice cream, she all used to eat two ice cream together. And
Right.
then after eating, she used to cry.
Be-
Oh, I don't want to be fat. Why I'm doing this to myself? Because you love ice cream. Ice cream is fat, right? And then, but she tried to compensate, and it never worked for her. Right now, she has a great weight because she knows what to do with her weight. She learned it. But there are lots of temptation. I know not
Right.
everybody um, can actually stick to one diet, and it's not
Right.
easy to have a strict diet forever.
Right.
But there are a lot of things that you can do with the diet. It's not only diet, as you said. What else did you do? Did you work with your mindset? Did you work with your like exercise? What else?
Okay. So, first of all, I used I did do a lot of mindset and reframing how I looked at food to get in that, to be ready to do that work takes a lot. And typically it takes something massive. Like in my case, my dad dying. And for many people, they require that kind of a trigger to make that mindset switch, because it really comes down to raising that inner child that's throwing the temper tantrum, that wants the ice cream and we can't tell ourselves no. I always tell people that sometimes you have to pull out your mom voice on yourself because, most moms, not all moms, I've met some that aren't, but most moms are pretty good at telling their kids they can't have 3 servings of ice cream after dinner, even if it's just mom self-preservation, because we don't want to clean up the mess that's going to occur after they've eaten the 3 servings of ice cream. And I got very good at reframing and reminding myself that I could have the ice cream, but I'm choosing not to. It was because, like I said, I don't like being told what to do. I'm might be just a little stubborn and pigheaded. So I had to tell myself, yes, you could have that, but it's not going to get you where you want to be. So why are you eating it? So there was a lot of that. And there was a lot of creating new habits. Instead of eating and driving, I would make a concerted effort to never eat when I was driving. Or if I was eating, it was something like carrots or sugar snap peas or an apple or something. Um, I would did not actually start doing anything outside of walking until I was about, I think I was 9 months into the journey, and I actually started adding 5 minutes of walking every day, and I built up from that because every time I had tried to make this overarching sweeping change, it backfired on me. So I used to say to myself, and I actually sign off on my podcast this way, you can do anything for 5 minutes. And I would make myself get up first thing in the morning because at this point I would get up and I would have my robe and slippers on, and I would literally pace in my house for 5 minutes up and down the hallway. And then slowly but surely over time, that turned into, at one point, I was walking like 5 miles first thing in the morning. Like I said, I do tend to go to extremes before I pull back a little bit. Then I added in some weightlifting. And then here recently, I overdid it enough to injure my ankle. And I've had to cut it down to about 100 minutes a week of anything outside of walking, which is being challenging, but I'm doing it because I'm just small changes. I didn't change everything all at once, ever, because every time I quit smoking by alternating smoking and vaping, and then eventually I completely quit smoking. It's
Beautiful.
it's changing all of the habits one at a time. I gave up diet
Exactly.
by drinking water. I gave up cigarettes by vaping. I gave up fast food by learning to make things that resembled fast food, but it was all whole foods made with love at home. So, I would pick one thing and work my way through it. And then once that became normal, I would add a layer. And so it seemed like there was a lot of changes in 18 months, but they were like 6 weeks here working on this, and then 6 weeks here working on this, and just moving through, all of the changes, that the 42 years worth of bad habits that I had, I reprogrammed them in like 18 months, doing one thing at a time. So,
Beautiful. So we're gonna get back there with the how to balance hormones and boost energy in just few seconds. We're gonna have few second break and come back again. Please subscribe to Panta Calhoun Transition channel and order my book Rules of Change for the Better. Tune up your mood and transform your life to reach your biggest dreams. See, that was very simple. Very similar to what you said about the change, my book, Rules
Yeah.
of Change.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I talk about change in this book because, as you said, everything we are doing, changing the habit, it shouldn't be a shock for the body, and your
Yeah.
body should feel that is normal for it. So let's say if you want to quit smoking, I've seen a lot of people quit the smoking. They are okay even for 13 years. And then
Hmm.
after 13 years, another trigger happened and then they go back to smoking. How can we, that's so interesting. I really want to know, as somebody like you, you already overcame this challenge. Why, what happened to you if you want to smoke again? Like you smell it and you feel, oh, I'm gonna have one. What do you do?
Actually, I will say that the smell of cigarette smoke now disgusts me, but I still vape. I still vape. Um, but there was I am extremely ADD. And so I have attention deficit disorder. And my brother in law pointed out a study that they were doing with nicotine and people with ADD. They were actually putting the nicotine patch on them to see if it helped them focus. And it did. And I would rather use nicotine for myself. Not that I advocate it for anybody else, but this is my personal choice. It makes it so people can actually follow my train of thought. I would rather use that than something like Ritalin or something caf- caffeine calms me down a little bit, and I do drink coffee, but turns out I was self-medicating for a large majority of my life with caffeine and nicotine. I smoked 4 packs a day and drank a case of Diet Pepsi plus some of the 24-ounce bottles in a week. And usually we bought several cases for a week because I drank a lot of Diet Pepsi and did not drink water. So I gave up the Diet Pepsi because it's really bad for your bones. And my mom had osteoporosis so bad, she broke her ribs moving clothes from the washer to the dryer. I do drink a couple of cups of coffee a day, but the nicotine in the vape, I find, makes it so that people can almost follow my train of thought. And I don't bounce as much. So
Yeah,
I
everybody.
don't
Okay.
have an issue going back to that. I do have an issue occasionally where I have to really pull myself from the situation with something like ice cream. For the 4th of July weekend, we went to a mountain town, and my husband is one of those disgustingly naturally skinny guys. I love him. Don't get me wrong. We've been together for 30 years. But one of the ways I've gained weight back in the past is trying to eat with my husband, and he can eat anything and never gain a pound.
I
Uh,
see. Oh my goodness. That was me before having my daughter. I never gained weight. Never.
yes, yes. Well, all I have to do is look at food the wrong way, and I gain 10 pounds. So, but him and the kids, while we're doing fun stuff, will, you know, they had ice cream, I think, 4 times last weekend. Did I not have ice cream? I had ice cream once because it was, there was nothing wrong with
Fun.
having it once. But I didn't need it 4 times in one weekend because I would have come home an extra 10 pounds heavy and probably sick because I don't eat sugar that often,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. So retraining, it takes time to not feel left out in those situations and be able to focus on the laughter and joking going on and not focus on the fact that you're the only one not eating ice cream.
I see. I totally follow you.
Huh?
Yeah. I totally follow you. I know.
So, for some people, they can go eat ice cream 4 times in a weekend. I'm not one of those people. I don't have that metabolism. but you can boost your metabolism doing certain things. So I do a lot of those things. So my metabolism is much higher now than it used to be. But part of it is, we're talking boosting energy and balancing hormones. Part of it is doing simple things like eliminating processed foods, learning how to cook your favorite things without a bag or a box of something that you're adding, drinking the water, and doing simple things like you don't have to work out, but turn the radio on and dance with your kids, or, dance around the house while you're doing chores, make things fun and but move a little more than you did the day before. Tying in that whole habit, we have a habit in our house that usually Friday nights, sometimes Saturdays, my husband he goes on YouTube and starts looking up videos on his computer, and his computer has a big boom sound bar. And he looks up the songs and quizzes me on who it is. And I am horrible. He knows it. It's all to make me feel bad for not knowing the answer. But the secret is I don't care. It's music. And the kids and I dance around the house while he's playing the music, because he likes to go down memory lane with music and we like to dance. So, it's finding fun things like that to add movement, which then boosts your energy, because when you're happy and you feel good and you feel better when you change your diet a little. I'm not saying change what you're eating to start off with. I'm saying learn how to make the foods that you do eat healthier so that you can enjoy what you're doing. Because I'm a big one of, once you have the framework of what you need in a meal, you can pretty much eat whatever you want. You just have to know how much of each thing you can have in order to lose the weight. So that's one of the reasons I love macros, is it gives you a framework to follow without
Is
a
that,
diet.
is that your program, Macro?
Yes. I do. I teach people how to use macros to balance their hormones, but I don't teach it as a diet. There are people out there that do macros that pull a protein bar out of the package and weigh the protein bar. I am so not that person. My idea behind macros is it shows you the proportions of the foods that your body needs to balance hormones. And my wonderful husband and I actually work together to take the formula that we have. I was a math major in undergrad, so I love numbers, and he had the knowledge. So between the two of us, we sat down and said, okay, let's experiment with this and see what gives us the best weight loss averages when you feel the best. And we played with it, and it's working like a charm with my clients. It is so amazing how people that have thought, the cravings were ruining their lives and they couldn't stop binging, that time of the month when everything goes crazy and they just wanted chocolate. And then they couldn't say no to the chocolate or no to the ice cream, because they're eating things in proportions that make them feel good, and then in turn increases their energy. One of my clients actually today, for the first time, went to the gym and worked out first thing this morning. And she's been slowly but surely adding movement in over time. And her husband is a personal trainer, but they hadn't been going to the gym because of COVID. So they're slowly but surely getting back into the gym. But this was the first time they went first thing in the morning. And she's been consistently losing weight over time. And now she has the energy to go spend a half hour at the gym and walk out and feel phenomenal. But she didn't start at the gym. We've been working together since March or April. I can't remember which. The months are merging together this year. Not sure.
Yeah, isn't it? You don't know where you are in. Yes, exactly. Yeah, so interesting. So interesting. I love this talk because, as you said, what I can actually wrap it up, you
Yes.
said adding adding some habits in the morning is so important. That
Yeah.
I totally agree, because morning is the start of the day. When you get up in the morning, so oh, I'm gonna do this, that, you are very excited, because then your day is shifted. You have a lot of thing preoccupy your mind, and you do some other stuff.
Yes.
But I found myself, even if I have a 3.5-year-old baby, when she's asleep, that's my time.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get up, I do some exercise, like sit up, and then I do some work, and then I start breakfast with her. But as you said, 5 minutes a day change many, many things, many,
Yes.
many things. And
And the
even
earlier
in,
you do it, the better.
yeah, exactly. And you can't believe it. Like sometimes I have a really big idea, a big plan to do, like writing a book on anything. But I commit myself to do it in 5-10 minutes a day. Sometimes it's more, like
Mhm.
half an hour. Some days I can't work. I have a lot of things to do at home, but I can compensate. So during the week, I have a plan that I'm going to do this, and if I miss the day, still I can compensate. But this is going to be a habit for you. Then you can't do anything. You have to do it because
Yeah.
it's part of you. As soon as you get used to it, and then when you lose weight, you feel much better, you feel lighter, you feel happier, because extra weight means a lot. It
It
means
does.
that you're not healthy enough, it means your hormones are not balanced, and it means that you don't have enough energy. Because
Right.
as soon as you're, as you said, you couldn't walk walk up the stairs. You couldn't go to your rooms, and was very difficult for you even play with your kids or hug them. And that's
Yeah.
so sad. But right now you can have a lot of fun with them, because you are lighter, you have more energy, your hormones are balanced, and that's great that you already have this program for other ladies or other people, um, because to my understanding, there are a lot of information out there, right? There are a
There
lot
is.
of program, a lot of things, but why people cannot get all the programs from the internet free? Because they don't have a system to follow.
That's right. They don't have a
Exactly.
system, and oftentimes they don't have people that have they aren't educated all the way. Their knowledge is not science based.
Exactly. Exactly.
You
That
know,
I like
and
that,
you see
because
the
yeah.
ads where drink this drink and lose 100 pounds in 3 months. No, no,
Or quit
it
smoking in 3 months. No, it's not gonna
no,
happen.
no. No, it took me almost 2 years to completely convert off of cigarettes. And I think that is one of the reasons why I can't stand the smell anymore, because I
Yeah.
didn't just quit cold turkey. I actually had told myself I had until Valentine's Day. It was a present for my husband. And I quit February 6th instead, because I'm sitting there looking at the cigarette going, I just don't need this. So I
Oh,
quit for
beautiful.
my own deadline. So I think that's why, because I gave myself the time to back out of the habit.
Michelle, I have a very easy steps to change the habit. For me, so easy. I love coffee. Love, love. The smell of coffee when I used to go to work, I couldn't resist. I had to have coffee 2 times per day. Then for my baby, because I had a lot of a struggle to have the baby, they said you shouldn't consume caffeine. So
Mhm.
even tea and coffee, I had to quit, and it was so difficult. First, I said, "Oh, look," but I tried to have an alternative. So then I feel that what my body needs is not caffeine; it's something warm in the morning. So you
Mhm.
can have there are a lot of fruit teas you can,
Yes.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
replace, and you get
Mhm.
used to it after a while. Right now my stomach get hurt when I have coffee.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I never get it, but it's not really important for maybe once per month, or maybe I don't even get it. That's the same with my other habits, like
Mhm.
eating habits for me was so easy, because it's easy to replace something with eating.
It is, and I find that, like, if they're having ice cream, I'll have a protein bar. The protein bar gives me the sweet, and if I'm hungry while they're eating ice cream, that's often my solution. I replace one thing for the other. I
But
replace water or Diet Pepsi with water. Um,
exactly.
I'm a big one for replacing to
Yeah, replacing.
create the habit.
Ice cream is also is so easy. For my daughter, I always crush the fruit, real
Mhm,
fruit, without any sugar.
mhm.
But all of most fruits are sweets already.
Yeah, yeah.
So you like, let's say watermelon. She love it. So I just crush it, put it in a fridge, and then that's it. She have it.
Actually, my daughter's 16, so difference in age here, but she actually makes ice cream with fruit out of Greek yogurt. That's like
Yeah,
her favorite thing is to make she'll make the homemade Greek yogurt ice cream. But in order to keep it from freezing rock solid, she just adds fruit into it. So
yeah,
my
that's even better.
well,
Nice.
my younger 2 children have extremely good eating habits. They can go eat ice cream 4 times with their dad in a weekend, but then they come home and they're like fruit smoothies, and my daughter makes baked oats, and, so it's balance.
That's
That's
nice.
all
Yeah,
it is having that balance. So,
good. Michelle, do you have any freebies? Is it
I
in your website?
do. I have actually 3 simple steps for weight loss for women. And it works for anybody. It's just if hormone balance is not just for women, even though we think it is. So this works for anybody, but they can go to go.macrounicorn.com. I don't know if you can see all of my unicorns over here, but I might be a unicorn freak. So it's if they go to that website, they'll get one of two, because right now I'm in the process of transitioning 3 tips to balance hormones. Um, the basic content is the same, but the name might be slightly different. But if they go to go.macrounicorn.com, it will come up there. And it is the 3 first steps that you need in order to lose weight, balance your hormones, and switch your mindset into creating a identity that's okay with losing weight. Because we can want to lose weight, but unless we're willing to make that identity switch of I'm doing this and this is me, it doesn't always happen. So, it's that whole sometimes we have to play with our brain in order
Yeah, and
to.
visualization. Like that's what I do. Even for weight loss, you can do it. I always look at my mirror. If I want to lose weight, I see, okay, that's me, and then I look at them. I try to visualize me as somebody is tiny, is tiny and is skinny. But yeah, there are lots of as you said, shift you can do in your mindset and in your habits and in your diet to lose weight.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I really enjoyed talking to you,
I
and
enjoyed
hopefully,
talking to you.
yeah, hopefully I can have you again in this show. Yeah, thank you so much, and have a great weekend.
You as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I am totally available if anybody has questions, and I will watch in the Facebook group and see if questions come, or the Facebook page and see if questions come up.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Uh-huh.